Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Jayo Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe. Jayo Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe. Jayo Radha Partha Sathi Radha Partha Sathi Shri Radhe. Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Shri Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की, श्रीला गुरुदेव की, गौर प्रेमानंदे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके Bhaktir bhavati naishthiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Hare Krishna. Okay. Krishna. We are studying from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 3rd canto, chapter number 25. Chapter is titled The Glories of Devotional Service. And today's verse is verse number 37. Please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Atho vibhutim mama maya manasvita. Atho vibhutim mama maya vinasta. Aishwaryamastangamanu pravartam. Aishwaryamastangamanu pravartam. Shriyam Bhagavatim va Spriyanti Bhadram. Shriyam Bhagavatim va Spriyanti Bhadram. Parasya mete shnuvate tu loke. Parasya mete shnuvate tu loke. Word by word translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat. Atho. Then. Vibhutim. Opulence. Mam. Of me. Maya vinah. Of the Lord of Maya. Tam, that, Aishwaryam, mystic perfection, Ashtanga, consisting of 8 parts. Okay. Anupravartam, following, Shriyam, splendor, Bhagavatim, of the kingdom of God, Va, or, Aspriyanti, they do not desire. Bhadram, blissful. Parasya, of the Supreme Lord. Me, of me. Te, those devotees. Ashnuvate, enjoy. Tu, but. Loke, in this life. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat. Thus, because he is completely absorbed in thought of me, the devotee does not desire even the highest benediction obtainable in the upper planetary systems, including Satyaloka. He does not desire the 8 material perfections obtained from mystic yoga, nor does he desire to be elevated to the kingdom of God. Yet even without desiring them, the devotee enjoys even in this life all the offered benedictions. Yeah? So we all understand who is speaking? Who is speaking here? Bhagavan Kapil Dev. And to whom Bhagavan is speaking to? Mother Devhuti. Yeah? And so in this verse, Bhagavan Kapil Dev is telling Mother Devhuti the symptoms of a devotee. Yeah? And what Bhagavan is telling Mother Devhuti is that a devotee of mine, he does not desire the siddhis, the perfections or the opulences. Yeah? So these are the symptoms of a devotee. Yeah? Mother Devhuti had asked a question from Bhagavan Kapil. She had asked a question about, my dear Lord, how's your bhakti? What type of कीदृशी? Right? आपकी भक्ति कैसी होती है? How's your bhakti? That question we all should ask. Yeah? So mother is asking to Bhagavan Kapil Dev. Yeah? काचित त्वयि उचिता भक्ति कीदृशी मम गोचरा यया पदम ते निर्वाणम अंजसा वा अन्वाश्वना aham. We understand the question, then we can understand what Bhagavan is saying here. So Mata Devhuti asked from Bhagavan that what is your uchit bhakti? What type of devotional service shall I perform? And by performing that devotional service, yaya padam te nirvanam. Your feet, your lotus feet, which are abode of liberation, which are liberation itself, right? My dear Lord, what is your devotional service? What is the proper devotional service that I can perform so that you can attain your lotus feet? How I can attain your lotus feet? Anjasa, quickly. Ashvana aham, without any effort. Easily and without too much endeavor so that I can attain your feet. And to that question, Bhagavan Kapil Dev is now responding. Yeah? So he has already, in the previous verses, if you've been following, so Bhagavan has already described, right, that you have, a devotee does not have any material desires. If you don't have any material desires, you perform pure devotional service. And now Bhagavan is describing the qualities of a devotee. Yeah? So we understand the meaning of the verse. Now please, two Prabhujis and two Matajis recite the verse as if you are a devotee. With that mood, please recite. Two Prabhujis. Atho vibhutim mama maya vinastam Aishwaryamastamamanu pravartam Parasya me te ashnuvate tu loke Atho vibhutim mama maya vinastha Aishwaryamastamamanu pravartam Shriyam bhagvatim vas priyanti bhadra Parasya me te shnuvate tu loke. Matajis. Atho vibhutim mama maya vinastam Aishwaryamastamamanu pravartam Shriyam bhagvatim vas priyanti bhadra parasya me te shnuvate tu loke. One more, Mataji, you want to recite? Atho vibhutim mama maya vinastam Ramastangamanu tam Yam bhagavatim va parasya me te shnuvate tu loke. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji and Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Please hear the purport. I just ask you to recite the verse after hearing the translation so that we are reciting when we know the meaning. And now we hear the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Please hear. The vibhuti or opulence offered by Maya are of many varieties. We have experience of different varieties of material enjoyment even on this planet. But if one is able to promote himself to higher planets like Chandralok, the sun, or still higher Maharlok, Janalok and Taplok, or even ultimately the highest planet, which is inhabited by Brahma and is called Satyalok, there are immense possibilities for material enjoyment. For example, the duration of life on higher planets is far, far greater than on this planet. It is said that on the moon the duration of life is such that our 6 months are equal to 1 day. We cannot even imagine the duration of life on the highest planet. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that Brahma's 12 hours are inconceivable even to our mathematicians. These are all descriptions of the external energy of the Lord or Maya. Besides these, there are other opulences which the yogis can achieve by their mystic power. They are also material. A devotee does not aspire for all these material pleasures, although they are available to him simply by wishing. By the grace of the Lord, a devotee can achieve wonderful success simply by willing, but a real devotee does not like that. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught that one should not desire material opulence or material reputation, nor should one try to enjoy material beauty. One should simply aspire to be absorbed in the devotional service of the Lord, even if one does not get liberation, but has to continue the process of birth and death unlimitedly. Actually, however, to one who engages in Krishna consciousness, liberation is already guaranteed. Devotees enjoy all the benefits of the higher planets and the Vaikuntha planets also. It is especially mentioned here, Bhagavatim Bhadram. In the Vaikuntha planets, everything is eternally peaceful, yet a pure devotee does not even aspire to be promoted there. But still he gets that advantage. He enjoys all the facilities of the material and spiritual worlds even during the present lifespan. Srila Bhaktivedanta purports ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Let's do Manglacharan and then we will discuss. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitantam Sajivam Savadhetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishak Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। भूतेर्महद्भिर्यैमा पुरो विभो निर्मायशेते यदमोष पुरुष, भुङ्क्ते गुणांशो दशषोडशात्मकं सोलङ्कसृष्ट भगवान् वचांसि मे। श्रीकृष्ण शरणं शरणागतं कथा अमृतं सतत पीबतं, भक्ति वेदांत मार्गपन्थनं सर्वलोक ऋषि देव जन्म प्रसन्नं, सर्वलोक ऋषि देव जन्म प्रसन्नम। Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, please bless me. May I am truly able to glorify Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and serve all the devotees. May the right words come at the right time. Please bless me. Thank you very much. So in this verse, Bhagavan Kapil Dev is telling Mother Devhuti that asprihanti bhadram. Sprihanti as in desire. But they don't desire. Even though in this life, these opulences, these siddhis, they automatically become available to them. Right? And in the previous verse he said, Anichchato me gatim anvim prayunkate. Anichchato me gatim. Without even desiring, they come to me. Why they come to me? Because they are performing devotional service without any desire. They don't have any material desire. They don't have any desire whatsoever. Their only desire is to serve. And that's what Srila Prabhupada is referring in the purport also. And we sing it every day. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mat janmani janmanishwara, bhavatad bhaktir ahetuki. Ahetuki tvai, without any motive. So that's how the symptoms of a devotee. Now let's understand what are the different types of liberations, what are the different siddhis, right? So there are 5 types of liberations, right? You all know, but just so we understand, what all devotees can get. Automatically they become available to them, right? What are the 5 types of liberations? Yeah? Samipya, Sarupya, Samipya, Sastri and Salokya. Yes. Yeah. So these are the 5 types of liberations. So the first one is, if we understand, one is Salokya. You are in the same planet where the Supreme Lord is. Take for example, you are in Australia, but the Prime Minister of Australia could be somewhere else. You are not closer to him, but you are in Australia. A Prime Minister of Australia is also in Australia. But Samipya is, you become a close servant, you become a personal assistant, you get close service. So the second type of liberation is, you samipya, you are close to the Supreme Lord. You become one of his servants. You get close service to him. So salokya, samipya. And then sarupya. You get same 4-armed form. Yeah? And then sarshti. You have same opulence as the Supreme Lord. And Sayujya is, you merge into Supreme Lord. That's what devotees don't aspire for that. Right? Devotees don't aspire for that, but you understand some people aspire for that. They want to become one with the Supreme Lord. They want to dissolve themselves They want to get merged into the Brahma Jyoti and etc., etc. But this is an offense for a devotee. Why it is an offense for a devotee? Because they don't get to serve the Supreme Lord. Mahaprabhu says it's better even go to hell than to get that kind of liberation. Because in hellish planets, there is a chance after some time you will get up, as in like you will move up to the planet, up to the other planets, and you will get to serve the Supreme Lord. So the devotee's only desire is somehow or other they want to serve the Supreme Lord. Right? So these are the 5 kind of liberations. Now siddhis. So there are 18 type of siddhis. Yeah? Uddhavji asked this question from Lord Krishna in 11th canto. He asked this question that, my dear Lord, what are different kind of siddhis? And then Supreme Lord Krishna then explains to him. And how to achieve those siddhis? Krishna says those siddhis, they come in front of the devotee automatically. Uptishtanti siddhaya. They just appear in front of you, siddhis. But what they do? Jitendriyasya, yuktasya, jitaswasa yogina, dharyatish, mai dharyatish cheto, uptishtanti siddhaya. Right? People who have, or the devotees or the yogis, who have what they have done? First, who have controlled their senses, who have controlled their mind, and who have controlled their breathing. Prana. Prana, senses, and your mind. If you control these 3 things, then Supreme Lord Krishna is saying, by controlling these things, dharyati chetas, your chetana is completely absorbed in Sri Krishna. When you do that, then uptishtanti siddhaya. All the siddhis come to you themselves. You don't have to go anywhere. They will come and stand in front of you. My dear sir, how can I serve you? So this is the potency. And then next question Arjuna asks, or Uddhavji asks, that how many numbers are there? What are different types? Then Lord Krishna further tells him that there are 18 type of siddhis. Yeah? Siddhayo ashtadash. Prokta. Who prokta? Dharana yog paragai. Yog paragai. Who have perfected this yoga. See, Krishna is not saying, I'm saying. As it is. Remember this concept. Krishna is also following the process. He says, yoga paragai. People who have perfected the yoga, they are saying. Prokta dharana yoga. Who have perfected this system of yoga. Right? Dharan, जैसे कहते हैं, you say vastra dharan, if you understand. Dharan as in on something, you put yourself inside that. Similarly, you put yourself completely absorbed into Krishna. That's what Krishna is saying. So those yogis who have perfected that art of dharana, art of focusing, right? They are saying, Krishna is saying that ashtadaso siddhayo. Siddhis are of 18 types. Yeah? And from them he is saying that jo 8 of them, they are mat pradhana. Tasam astau mat pradhana. Out of those 8 are my. They are always with me. Or they come from me. And then dasha. Dashvai yoga hetava. Guna hetava. The 10, people who are in the sattva guna, they attain those 10 siddhis. And out of 18, 8 are mat pradhana. They are within me. And if I am merciful to someone, I give them little bit of that. Ansh. Right? So 18 of them. Now, out of 18, what are the 8? Let's understand that also. What are 8 type of siddhis? Right? So the first 3 are of the body. Anima, Mahima, Lagima. Lagima. Anima is, so with that siddhi, what you can do? You can reduce yourself, or you can change yourself smaller than the atom. Smaller than the dust particle. When Hanumanji, he went to Lanka, and Lankini, who was the doorkeeper, who was the security guard of Lanka, she tried to stop Hanumanji. And what Hanuman had done, he had transformed himself into a form of a mosquito, a small mosquito, a small form. And he was trying to enter the Lanka. and that Lankani spotted him. So that means she also had those siddhis. Some siddhis she also had from Brahmaji, because Brahmaji had appointed her to take care of Lanka. Brahmaji had told her that you be the security guard here but if somebody comes and he is able to defeat you, that day you should understand that this will be the Ravan's end is just near. So she also had siddhi, Hanuman also had siddhi. She was using siddhi for serving Ravana, and Hanumanji was using siddhi for serving Ram. So she got defeated. You know Holika, Hiranyakashipu's sister, she also had a siddhi. She would sit in the fire and she won't get burnt. She offered to Hiranyakashipu when they were devising a plan how to kill this boy. He's creating so much nuisance. He doesn't think I am the God. We have to do something about it. And then Holika came up with a plan. Okay, today is actually Holi. Day before we celebrated Holika. You know, when they burned the fire, remember? So Holika she made a proposal. She said, let me take Prahlad in my lap and I will sit in the fire. Because I won't get burnt and Prahlad will get burnt when I'm sitting in the fire. But what happened? Opposite. She got burnt and Prahlad was safe. Right? That's what Bhagwan Kapil Dev is saying. Parasya mete ashnuvate tu loke. They automatically get it. As a devotee, did Prahlad Maharaj ask for any siddhi? But siddhi was standing in front of him. That's what Krishna is saying. Upatishtanti siddhaya. All the siddhis come and stand in front of him. Prahlad Maharaj did not ask for anything, but automatically that siddhi came and Holika's siddhi went away. She got burnt. Because she wanted to serve Hiranyakashipu. Right? So, first siddhi was anima. You can reduce yourself to the smallest of the atom. Then the second is laghima. You can increase your size as high as you want. Who was that? Aghasur? He increased so far in the miles. Putana. When she fell, it says many kilometers. Many miles her body was there. But because Krishna had sucked her, breast, Nand Maharaj, he had gone to Mathura to pay the toll. And when Nand Maharaj and Sunand, his brother, when they came back, and when they heard about this demoness, Putana, lying on the ground in such so much area of their kingdom, they got worried what to do. And then they were thinking how to burn her body quickly so that inauspiciousness will go away. And they had to get saws to cut her body into pieces. But when they cut her body into pieces and when they lit the fire, what was happening? It was smelling like incense. Because Krishna had touched her. She tried to increase the size of her body. Was a siddhi, but did it work for her? No. She tried to use that siddhi against Krishna. That's why Krishna is saying, I am mat pradhana. Siddhayo ashte mat pradhana. They are within me. So other people, they get little bit, ansh, parts. So anima, laghima, anima, mahima and laghima. So laghima means you can reduce your weight. You can become literally weightless. So three, just remember, they are three of the body. Right? You can increase your size, smallest, biggest, and the lightest. Weightless, you can become that. Then the next siddhi is prapti, which is of the senses. You can control your senses through those siddhi. Right? Control your senses. And then the next one is prapta. You can get any bhogas, you can get anything in this you can say in this planet or in other planet. It's like you can say today you get fruits here and they say fruits from India. You go, you see, so the fruits get exported or whatever. But those, if you have that siddhi, you don't need to go to the shop, you just get them. They come directly to you. So you can organize that. Right? So this is the fifth one. And then the next one is, so Anima, Laghima, Mahima, Prapti, and then Ishita. Ishita and Vashita. Ishita means you are able to control the Maya and its potencies. You are able to control it to an extent. Not completely. But to an extent you can control it. Right? And then Vashita, you can control others, other people. You can indulge into sense gratification, but you will still remain detached. Don't try that. Warning. As they say on the cigarette packet, don't try that. Yeah. You say yes, you are indulging into that, but you won't be attached into that. Right? You know how Pundrik Vidyanidhi, he was enjoying that opulence, but he was completely detached. And then the final one is that, sorry, it just slipped my mind. And the final one is that is also about you can get all the desires fulfilled. Everything that you desire, you can get them. So these are the 8 types of siddhis. So Krishna says, I have them and I give them, little bit to others also. And then he describes other 10 type of siddhis, which are people who run the sattva guna, they can get it. Right? Guna sattva, who are in the mode of goodness. Those things are like, you can completely be unaffected by staying hungry for the whole day. You can not drink any water, you won't be affected. You won't be affected by sunlight. You are able to read others' mind. You are able to see, by sitting here, you are able to see pastime between demigods and their, and their friends, what they are doing. So those type of siddhis you can do, and you can achieve by increasing the mode of goodness. Sattva guna. There was an example that there was this Prabhu in South India. He did not eat for many days. So scientists were trying to research on him. They were trying to research his body. What is he doing? What kind of metabolism? What is, hormones, blood tests, etc. They were trying to do. But they forget that this is a siddhi. This has come from, from the top. People who are in the mode of goodness. They don't inquire into that. It's like devotees. Today you will be fasting till, evening? Otherwise, devotees fast on Ekadashi. Some devotees start fasting from Dwadashi itself, the previous day. So, but this is all because you're in the mode of goodness. You are able to control that. You don't feel hunger. You don't feel thirsty. Rather, you are enjoying that. But if you tell this to somebody, people who are not into this, devotional service, for them it's a surprise. How can you? You remember that famous, one of the devotee in America, he was, the police were chasing him. He went and he came and mingled with the devotees. And then he was handed back to the police. When he was handed back to the police, the temple president explained what his routine is. They said, we get up at 4 a.m., then he does Mangla Arti, then he is doing this Arti, and then he's going out, then he's serving. And then the police superintendent said, oh my God, this is much more than what we can give him in the prison. He's better there. See? But for devotees, they don't get affected. However, now Krishna concludes after describing all of this. Krishna says, all these are waste of time. Antrayan. These are called interruptions. Yeah. Antrayan vadanti eta. So these are all said interruptions. By whom? By the people who are yunjato yogam uttamam. People who are on the path of the topmost yoga. Yogam uttamam, they say. Krishna is again not saying, I'm saying. He's telling Uddhav that people who are on the path of greatest yoga system, yoga process, for them they consider it as a interruptions. Antarayan. Why? Because he says that Maya sampadyamanasya, because they are trying to get me. They are trying to absorb themselves into me, their time. But if they engage into this, then what happens is kalakshpana hetava. It is a waste of time. by running, hankering for these siddhis. They don't get enrolled in this. Like Krishna concludes Bhagavad Gita 6.47. What he's saying, yogi naam api sarvesham mad gaten antar atmana. Bhajante, ye bhajante tumam bhaktya samay yukto tamamata. But if you are of all the yogis, yogi naam api sarvesham, of all the yogis, right? But if they are shraddha, if they are performing devotional service to me with full faith, with full shraddha, right? They are the topmost yogis. So yogis, so that's why Krishna is saying, they don't hanker for all these. All they hanker for is to serve the Supreme Lord, is to serve me. Yeah. Srila Rupa Goswami, he also quotes one verse from Naradiya Puran in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He says, people who are iha yasse harer dasye, iha, in this world, people staying in this world, by staying here, they want to be the servant of the Lord Hari. Iha yasse harer dasye karmana manasa gira. By their word, by their actions, and by their mind, they are serving, they are happy to be serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. And by staying here also, they are still called mukt, jivan mukt sauchyate. Yeah. So they don't hanker for any siddhis. All they want is to serve the Supreme Lord. Right? Now also Sud Goswami has said, so now the next question comes, then Prabhu, what we should be doing? Yes, obviously we should be doing the devotional service. But then what activities we do under that? Right? What activities we should do that? What is the siddhi then? If these are not siddhi, so that is answered by Sud Goswami. Sud Goswami says, sam siddhir haritoshanam. Siddhi again. Siddhi means perfection. So the topmost perfection is to please the Supreme Lord Hari. Atah pambir dvajashreshta gunak karma vibhagasa swanui tasthasya dharmasya sam siddhir haritoshanam. Right? So he says, therefore, the Supreme Lord, He has created this division. Guna karma vibhagasa chaturvarnam maya srishtam. He has done that. Why that has been done? Swa anutishthasya dharmasya. Right? As an individual, by staying in your own dharma, on your own position. Right? If there is a student's dharma is to study. Right? If there is a husband's dharma is to take care of the house. Mataji's dharma is to take care of the household things. Like this, all of us have swanutishthasya dharmasya. All of us have our dharmas. Even the yogis, even the jnanis, even the brahmacharis, parivrajkacharyas, gurus, all of them, they have their one dharma to do. But staying in that dharma, what they should be doing? Sam siddhir haritoshanam. So the perfection of their dharma is for the pleasure of the Lord, Supreme Lord Hari. You do whatever you are doing, but the topmost pleasure is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? Now, one question was asked by Sanatan Goswami. Today is Gaur Purnima, so we'll discuss, some of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastime. So it was asked by Sanatan Goswami, and Mahaprabhu says that he specifies three things. Yeah, he says, "Name ruchi jiver doya, Vaishnava sevon, ei se adhik dharam nahi, suno sanaton." Name ruchi jiver daya, Vaishnava sevon, ei se adhik dharam nahi, suno sanaton. That these are the topmost dharma. There is nothing greater than this. So the first one is Name ruchi. Name ruchi is chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord. Right? And there is no last, if you remember, we discussed from Ante Leela, we discussed when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is elaborating on Shiksha Ashtakam verses. Right? So there Mahaprabhu, when he is specifying or importance of chanting the holy name, Mahaprabhu says very clearly, he says, Khaite shuite jatha tatha naam loe, kal desh niyam nahi sarv siddhi hoye. Once again siddhi. Right? There is no niyam. Khaite, if you are sleeping, or if you are eating, you can take the holy names. Can you take the holy name can you do any yagna when you are in the shower? Can you offer Aarti when you are in the, at 2 a.m.? Can you offer Aarti at 2 a.m.? No. Right? You can't do Yagna at odd time. You can't do Aarti at odd time. You can't offer Bhoga at odd time. But any time you can chant the holy name. Khaite, shuite, jatha, tatha, naam loy. At any time you can take the holy name. Yeah? So there is a very nice pastime, and Mahaprabhu, when he set up these, chanting the holy name at Srivas Thakur's place, Mahaprabhu used to arrange, and there used to be kirtan going on for many, many hours. Yeah. So once kirtan was going on, and Srivas Thakur's Angan, so it so happened that Srivas Thakur's son, he passed away. Srivas Thakur's son passed away, and Srivas Thakur heard some Matajis were crying. As he heard that crying, Srivas Thakur went, and he started telling his, wife and other people there, please don't cry. Please don't, just stay quiet. Now think from a point of a mother. And husband is telling, no, don't cry. And then she says, why? And then he tells them, Nitya hoye janam, nitya hoye maran, kintu nitya hoye nahi gaur grihe agman. He tells her that nitya hoye janam, nitya hoye maran. This birth and death is happening all the time. Every time people are dying, people are taking birth. But nitya hoye nahi gaur grihe agman. Gaur Sundar Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to our house. It does not happen every time that Gauranga Mahaprabhu will come to our house. He will be dancing in our house. He will be chanting the holy names. It does not happen all the time. So please keep quiet. Please lower your voice. This Janam Maran, it will happen again and again. We will die. We've been going through this cycle. But Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he won't come to our house so often. Please don't cry. And later on, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he knew everything what was happening. As Mahaprabhu then found out, Mahaprabhu then goes afterwards and he tells Srivas that, Srivas, why didn't you tell me? And then Srivas Thakur says, Mahaprabhu, I didn't want to disturb you. You were so engrossed in chanting the holy names. And then Mahaprabhu goes inside the room and Mahaprabhu wakes the boy. Mahaprabhu calls him, hey, wake up. And boy wakes up. As the boy wakes up, then boy asks Mahaprabhu, my dear sir, what is the instruction for me? What is the order for me? And then Mahaprabhu says, your father is here and your mother is here. And then son asks, who is my father? Who is my son? Whose son am I? And then he starts speaking the, Tattva Gyan. The son starts saying, I was their father in previous lives. Maybe in this life he became my father. So what is the big deal? And as the son is speaking, then Srivas Thakur, everyone looks at him. And then he asks permission from Mahaprabhu, and then he says, Mahaprabhu, please allow me to go back. Because as a soul, I have to go to next destination. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj says, Mrit putra mukhe kaila jnanera kathan, apan dui bai hoila Srivas Nandan. Mrit putra mukhe, the son who was dead, from his mouth, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got the Gyan ka Kathan, got the instructions spoken by that son, and then Mahaprabhu from that day, and Nityanand Prabhu was there also. And Sriman Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, Mahaprabhu said, Apan dui bahi hoila Srivas Nandan. From today, we too are your sons. Don't worry about this son. Name Ruchi. This is how we should develop the taste for the holy names. Jiver Doya. Now, Jiver, okay, we have only 10 minutes to go. 8:30 we will start. Jiver Doya. I want to share this pastime with one of the Mataji. She was from Europe. And Mataji had once come to Vrindavan. She was in Vrindavan, and as Mataji was going back to Europe, she packed her bags and she reached her destination. After reaching her destination, Mataji, as she opens her bag, she realized that somehow one chipakli, what do you call it in English? Lizard? One lizard had somehow entered into her suitcase. And as she opens the suitcase, she says, oh! And the lizard slowly comes out and she starts getting on the wall. And now Mataji looks at that lizard and she's worried. She started worrying. And she started worrying not about herself. She's worrying that this lizard, this soul who was destined to stay in Vrindavan because of my fault, it has come to Europe. It has come to Paschatya Desh. How can I take her back to Vrindavan? She was upset with herself, as they say in English. She was kicking herself. She was feeling so bad. What do I do now? How do I get her back to Vrindavan? What will I say to my Guru Maharaj? I'm responsible for this jeev. And then she calls her mother. Mother, what to do? Mother, she has never been to Vrindavan. And mother and daughter, they are having a conference how to get this lizard back to India and Vrindavan. And then mother says to daughter, oh, she must be hungry. And then she says, yes, she must be hungry. It was this long flight and she was in the suitcase. What do I get her? And then she says, I can't get the mosquito for her. What do I give her to eat? And then the mother says, okay, put some seeds, put some water in a bowl or something so that she can eat something. And then the lizard is on the wall and she's running. How to give her something to eat, but lizard is scared. And this Mataji is scared. Oh, what if she dies here? Then, oh, my life will be ruined. And then mother and daughter again on the call. Daughter is saying, mother, I've tried very much, but she's not eating anything. She's not drinking anything. What do I do? And then mother says, let's take her back to Vrindavan. Mother who has never been to Vrindavan, now she's saying, let us take her back to Vrindavan. Somehow or other they call, who they call? Is it RSPCA or equivalent? So they phone them. They say, we have a lizard and we want to know how do we preserve her? How do we make sure that she doesn't get hurt? And we want to take her back to India, back to Vrindavan. And then they said, okay, we can't help you much. Then she calls the airline. Can we book a ticket for her? Well, she's alive. She's alive, she's a living. How do you take her back to Vrindavan? Somehow mother and daughter, they're on the phone and they finally made some arrangement to book a flight for daughter back to India. Mother and daughter, both of them, they came home. They somehow caught the lizard, put her into a box. They made the flight arrangement so that in the plane she won't get hurt. And both of them, they caught the next flight. They land in Delhi. From the Delhi, the taxi is waiting. And they reach to Vrindavan. And in the Vrindavan, Mataji goes and she opens her suitcase again. And there lizard, she crawls out and she walks on the wall. Jiver Doya. Yeah. So this is how we have mercy. Right? As in, once Srila Prabhupada was asked about a question, it was asked in Jhansi from Srila Prabhupada, that Hatya, what does that mean? So Prabhupada told them that if you are obstructing someone in their spiritual journey, that is Hatya. Hatya is killing someone forcefully. Right? It's not bodily killing, understand? It's not killing a body at a material level, but it's obstructing someone's spiritual journey. If you are doing that, then that is the greatest offense. Yeah? So Jiver Daya, so we should always be mindful that we don't affect each other's devotional journey. And the whole purpose of coming together is not to appreciate each other's look, each other's garment, each other's lifestyle, etc., etc., or to criticize on the same token. The whole purpose of coming together is to bodhayantah parasparam, is that we enlighten each other how we can serve Supreme Lord together. Right? So that has to be the principal factor behind this concept of Jiver Daya. Right? So Name Ruchi Jiver Daya Vaishnava Sevon. Yeah? I will take another 5 minutes. So there is very nice pastime. One of the one of the Vaishnavas, his name was Devananda Pandit. I don't know if you have heard about his name, but in our Vaishnava calendar, we celebrate His Grace Devananda Pandit's appearance day and also disappearance day. Now imagine how many, if you look at the Vaishnava calendar, how many names do you see that appear there on their disappearance and appearance day? So Devananda Pandit, Prabhuji Mataji, he used to live in Kulia in Navadvip, and he was a great scholar. He used to recite Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was always reading Srimad Bhagavatam, and people will come, there will be a lot of students coming to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from him. He was doing that. Once he was reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, and then who came? Srivas Acharya came into that assembly. And as Srivas Acharya came into that assembly, he got into an ecstatic mood. He got into an ecstatic mood by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and he started dancing. As he started dancing in that assembly, Devananda Pandit's disciples, students, they thought, who is this person? We are studying Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the perfect science. We are studying in a structured way. Who is this person? Throw him out. And the students devised that plan. They just picked Srivas Thakur and then they just threw him out on the street. And after some time when Srivas Acharya, when he came in his senses, he realized, oh, what have I done? He was feeling embarrassed and he walked away. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found about it. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found about it, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came to Navadvip, he was still staying there. He hadn't moved to Jagannath Puri yet. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he was performing Sankirtan. But this Prabhu, Devananda Pandit, he did not have any attraction for the holy name. He is seeing Mahaprabhu, but he does not have any reaction at all. No obeisances, nothing. And then Mahaprabhu called him and Mahaprabhu chastised him. Mahaprabhu told him that you are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, this is useless. Actually, before that, Mahaprabhu told his followers, I am going to go and tear up his scriptures. He's teaching Srimad Bhagavatam, but he is not telling them the essence of the devotional service. He is just teaching them as a textbook. Lord Shiva tells Mata Parvati, Bhaktya Bhagavatam Grahyam, na tikaya na cha buddhaya. You can only understand Bhagavatam by bhakti. Not tikaya, not by purports, not by intelligence. But this person is teaching Srimad Bhagavatam. And in his device grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he says he was a great samartha. He was not sense enjoyment. He was celebrated from very young age. He was very austere. He was doing everything. The only thing missing was he did not have attraction. He hadn't surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when then Mahaprabhu chastised him, he still did not understand what had happened. But Mahaprabhu wanted to be merciful to him. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is called Mahavadanyaya. He is the greatest of boons. Vad as in who can give Vardhan. He is the most munificent, most merciful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so arranged that one of his associate, Varkeshwar Pandit. Varkeshwar Pandit, he is the fifth branch of Chaitanya tree, by the way. So Varkeshwar Pandit came to Navadvip and he visited Devananda Pandit. And as he visited Devananda Pandit developed a liking and surrender for Varkeshwar Pandit. He served Varkeshwar Pandit, and Varkeshwar Pandit used to dance when Mahaprabhu was used to sing. Krishnadas Kaviraj says, once he danced 72 hours. We dance for 5 minutes and we'll make 20 videos. Right? 20 videos on the Facebook. Today, God darshan of Radha Gopinath. And then video. And then how many likes? Oh, only, no. Prabhu, you didn't like my video? Oh, I went to Radha Gopinath. Oh, Prabhu, Aarti was ecstatic. Kirtan was wonderful. He's just trying to tell, I did such a wonderful dance. Okay. So, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.